Welcome to Great Neighborhood Cooks. I'm your host, Rob Kircher. Each week I'm going to be knocking on the doors of amazing cooks who live down the street or around the corner. Who knows, maybe from your own neighborhood. For the most part, they're unsung cooks known mainly to their family and friends. Or they might be cooks from that great little hideaway restaurant that we love to discover. Either way, their relative obscurity is about to change as I bring them into the spotlight. So who will be the next discovered great neighborhood cook? Well, stay tuned to find out. So who will be the next discovered great neighborhood cook? Well, we're about to catch up with the most interesting guy from Louisiana. He's been there all his life, but now he's been transplanted to Bonita Springs, and he's going to teach us how to cook Cajun. How are you, Jeff?
Good evening. Nice to meet you. Pleasure to have you over.
I'm happy to be here. So, Jeff, what are you going to prepare for us?
Well, what we're cooking today, Rob, is we're cooking crawfish etouffee.
Etouffee?
Yes, sir.
Wow. And these are your ingredients, huh?
This is your basics for really any Cajun meal.
Wow.
You have your onions, your bell pepper, your celery, your green onions and parsley and garlic.
You got a lot of onions there, my friend.
Oh yeah, well, I'm cooking a rather large batch.
Okay, now you got a special pot, I think, for this.
I do. I cook in nothing but cast iron.
Nothing but cast iron.
This one's been around a long. I've had it for about 30 years or so, but it's about 150 years old.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we bring our ingredients over here, and we'll crank that big baby up.
We can do it.
What's the first thing you put in the pot?
The butter. I'll be using a half a pound of butter on this batch.
Half a pound of butter. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's try that.
Let's get her in. The pot should be hot. And we'll let her melt down.
All right, so you're going to be melting your butter, right?
Yes,
And
we're
looks like it's happening pretty fast.
Yes, sir.
And
That's one good thing about cast iron. It heats up nice and stays hot.
It stays hot.
Yes, sir.
Wow. And the next thing is what? What do you put in after that?
We start with the veggies, the onions and the bell peppers.
Okay, all right. Tell you what, why don't we bring the ingredients over? The bell peppers, we'll bring them right over. And
usually your ratio on any Cajun dish is going to be 2 large onions to 1 medium bell pepper.
Oh.
That's general your general ratio. Get all those onions in there.
How many onions would you say you have in there right now?
8.
8 onions. Wow.
And this will be 4 bell peppers.
I love it.
I don't know how to cook small. I'm so sorry.
And I'll give you your weapon. There's your weapon.
Now we'll do this for 30 minutes. Not a minute more, not a minute less. I actually have a timer over here and it has started.
So you're going to be stirring for 30 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Now we also, our next ingredient that we add will be our garlic, which usually use about 2 cloves. This is probably 6 or 8 cloves chopped.
Wow.
You can never have enough garlic.
Now, I see you got some garlic juice in there too, which is good.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
That's par for the course for occasion. They love
Look at the color you already got going on in here. This is fantastic.
Wait till that smell gets going.
So you incorporate that, huh? Wow. You know, what I love about these old cast iron pots is that it doesn't go anywhere, you know?
No, it doesn't move when you stir.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It weighs 40 pounds by itself.
And this is over 100 years old, you were saying?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it amazing? And to get that amazing coat, I guess, it's just years and years of cooking, right?
That's it, and proper care when you finish
Well, I was
cooking.
just going to ask you, how do you, you don't put this in a dishwasher?
No, sir.
You don't actually use soap, I don't think.
I use soap and water.
Do you?
Soap and warm water. You don't scrub it.
You don't scrub it?
You just soap and rinse it, and then you reheat it, and you put more oil on it. I use olive oil. You heat it back up, you wipe it down with the oil, and you turn it off.
Really?
Yes, sir. And then you can store it for years.
That's the secret. You got to heat it back up again.
Yes,
put
sir.
the oil in.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's amazing. So you keep stirring this because you got your timer, and we got to stir this thing for 30 minutes. Right?
Yes, that's the secret to my etouffee. Is I saute my vegetables for 30 minutes.
Wow. And you were saying earlier that etouffee literally means to smother, right?
Right.
And that means just to coat everything. So it's actually in a sea of sauce, right?
Correct.
Wow. And you like crawfish, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I know this is goes without saying, but where do you get the best crawfish?
Louisiana.
Louisiana?
Yes. It's because of the mud.
From the mud?
Yes, sir, it is the mud. From the Atchafalaya and the Mississippi River is the type of mud that these crawfish live in.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So they love that?
Yep. That's why they call them mud bugs.
Mud bugs. I've heard that before, yeah. So we were laughing, we were having some folks over the other day and we were talking about pizza. And they were saying, well, where do you get the best pizza? And I said, well, the best pizza comes from New York. And they said, why is that? And I said, well, it's the Hudson River water that makes
correct.
the pizza taste good. And I guess that goes with bread as well, right?
That is so true. That is exactly correct. I like to add my seasonings on top of the onions and bell peppers and celery.
Yeah.
I do some black pepper.
Oh, okay. Now, are you liberal with the black pepper?
Yes, I have no measurement here. You season to taste. I like to put a good coat where the surface is all coated.
Wow. I love pepper, so you can't go wrong with me.
And this is something that you can always add after it is done.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper is something you can always add after the fact. But
so etouffee really is like a customized recipe, really. I mean, you can kind of do your own thing and add your own touches here and there.
So back when the French Canadians settled in South Louisiana, they were very poor, and they cooked most of their meals in one pot. Hence the cast iron pot. They do the jambalayas, the etouffees, and several other dishes are done in one pot.
at this stage, while we're sauteing the vegetables, we have to add the Tabasco sauce, which is a Louisiana product from New Iberia.
I was just going to say it, yeah. That's been around for well over 100 years.
Absolutely. I'm not sure when the McElhennys started their company, but this dish is not the same without it.
Yeah, wow.
And it's not a measurement thing. It's an eyeball thing, as all Cajun food is. So we're gonna.
Before it's just kind of customized as you go along, right?
So we get about 20 dashes or so in there,
yeah.
And we can always add down the road. But I like to cook it in as I'm sauteing the vegetables with the pepper and the bell peppers and onions, and they all get the same flavor at one time.
So that's the only heat that you're really applying to this.
Yes, sir. You can put red pepper, cayenne red pepper in there, but you make it as hot as you want to make it.
It sounds like this is more like a subtle flavor, like a subtle taste. It doesn't really have any super overpowering flavors in it.
You will be able to taste everything that's in here.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't like as much heat personally because it takes away from the flavor of the other vegetables.
Yeah, okay. And the crawfish.
And the crawfish.
Yeah.
Now, if we were to make crawfish etouffee, Rob, with crawfish that we peeled, say, after a crawfish boil,
yeah,
where them crawfish tails are seasoned with all the liquid crab boil and the lemons and everything, and it's boiled into it, it's a whole different process. You change up your ingredients the way you cook them because they're already seasoned, so you have to allow for that.
I love Louisiana Cajun food. This is amazing. It truly is his own realm, if you will. I don't think anything even compares to it. I mean, it's one of those amazing series of dishes, right? I mean, and it's so authentic.
It's a special people.
Hundreds of years, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's a special people.
Right.
I cooked this for my mom. My mom passed of cancer in 1998.
Oh, yeah.
And while she could still have solid foods, she called me and said, I want some of your etouffee, and that was actually the last solid food that she ate before she passed on. And so it made me feel really good.
All the things that she wanted, right?
Was my now all of my family cooks.
Yeah.
I have my brother is one of the best gumbo makers around.
Really?
He's also one of the best crawfish boilers around. He competes every year for boiled crawfish, and he makes a fine etouffee, but it's not mine.
Only one chef.
Yes, yes, sir.
Wow. So, how long do you think we've cooked so far? We've cooked this out?
Oh, probably. We're about 15 minutes, and we're about halfway point.
Halfway.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
All right. And then, what happens after this, chef?
We'll be adding the crawfish tails and fat.
And fat. Okay.
Yes,
Let's
they
talk
come.
about the fat for a minute.
Let me show you the package.
Okay.
This is how you want to get your crawfish tails. They come pre-packaged, 1 pound packs. It's going to have an official Louisiana stamp, Cajun approved on it. This is 1 pound. It's crawfish tails with fat.
With fat. Now, what kind of fat is this?
It's crawfish fat.
Crawfish fat?
Yes, sir. It comes out of the heads of the
comes
crawfish.
out of the head of the crawfish?
Yes.
All right. Wow. Okay, so you got to have this, otherwise it's not
This is
gonna
what
taste right.
makes the color of etouffee supposed to be.
Ah.
Is the crawfish fat.
Now that's the actual natural coloring of the fat.
Correct.
There's no coloring added to it. That's the color
That
of
is
the fat.
correct. That is
Okay.
correct. That's why I wanted to bring an authentic package
So
of
that's as authentic
Louisiana tails.
That's as authentic as you could possibly get.
That's
right?
it. Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
It takes 5 pounds of crawfish to make 1 pound of tails.
Wow.
So you can imagine I'm putting 5 pounds of tails in here. That would be 25 pounds of crawfish.
That's a lot of crawfish.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of crawfish. How do they actually, I guess, catch crawfish? Do they gather it as like plants?
They have crawfish traps.
nets or-
They have crawfish traps
Yeah.
that they bait, usually with like a chicken neck,
Yeah.
because it lasts long and you can tie it down well. And the crawfish crawl in a trap, they cannot crawl out.
So it's like a lobster, the thing,
It's-
yeah, or
exactly.
crab or something like that. right?
Exactly, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
sir. The more rain you have during the season, which starts in about December, the longer the crawfish season, as the crawfish grow and molt 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
They get rather large in Louisiana.
Now, what's preferable? Are they less tender or more tender with the size? If the size is bigger?
During the season, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It does not matter, but late in the season, the shells get harder, which makes it harder to peel.
Okay.
The crawfish meat itself doesn't change, but the shell
It'll
changes.
still taste the same, but the
Yes,
shell
sir.
is
Yes,
hard.
sir.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so folks, we're going to take a break right now. We're going to come back with Jeff and this amazing etouffee that he has, which is, he's not going to really tell us what the whole ingredients are. It's maybe part of the ingredients. Maybe all the ingredients. Who knows? We don't know what he's going to do. But we'll be back, so stay with us.
Thank you.
Batter up! Experience the science and math behind baseball at our newest exhibit, Big League Fun. Come test the speed of your fastball, steal second base, gear up in your catcher's equipment, then announce the big game. All at the Golisano Children's Museum of Naples. While you're here, explore the Everglades, engineer your own building, and go fishing at the beach. Visit the Children's Museum of Naples today, located in the North Collier Regional Park.
Folks, I'm here with Francis J. Cuomo. He's the owner of Jerome's Gourmet Market. And Francis, every time I come in here, it's just bustling with activity. I love it.
Thank God. That's why we're here. We're here to feed people.
How many people do you get on a daily basis?
Well, it depends. You know, certain times of the year, like now, we average around 3,000 people a day on a Saturday and Friday. Sundays we close a little early at 6, and we average around 1,500 to 1,800 people a day on a Saturday. So it's it just keeps growing.
And people
the
love-
restaurant yesterday, about 1,100 people.
Really?
In the restaurant
Wonderful,
alone. That's
wonderful.
not including that.
Well, you
So
know,
we're very
you've got
blessed.
that magic going for here.
Yeah.
You know, you really do. It's the sight, the sound, the aroma, everything that
Yes.
you're so well known for.
I give God the credit. He gave me the energy and the foresight.
So, folks, if you really want to have a gourmet experience, you want to come to Jerome's Gourmet Market in Bonita Springs and this little Italy right here in
Southwest Florida,
Southwest Florida.
our own creation.
I've been suffering from hearing loss as long as I can remember. It used to be I couldn't hear people in crowded rooms. Now I can't hear people in any situation anywhere. That's severe. Finally, I decided to do something about it, and I went to Beltone 5-Star Hearing.
I've been in this industry since 1972, and helping Rob was a wonderful thing. I wear the same hearing aids, and I'm excited about how much they help me. You get service, and there's 1,600 facilities in the country, and there's a Beltone nearest you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call your local Beltone dealer for service. And that's what hearing aids are all about. They need service after you purchase them.
Just come see us. It's free just to have an evaluation.
These hearing aids that I just love them. I absolutely love them. At the Roma's Gourmet Market and Restaurant, they do things differently. They do it the authentic way. For example, why is their incredible bread and pastries the best you've ever tasted? Well, it's because they're made artfully and lovingly every day, using only the freshest ingredients possible. The same care and thoughtfulness goes into their freshly brewed, custom blended coffee. The Roma's Gourmet Market and Restaurant at the Promenade in Bonita Springs is the closest place to Little Italy in Southwest Florida. Now comes the magic ingredient. Right?
That is it. Our 30 minutes is up on my saute time.
Waiting and waiting for this to happen, Jeff.
This is what comes next, and that is the addition of the crawfish tails and fat.
Ooh. Look at this. And look at that color. Oh my goodness. Now once again, where do these crawfish come from?
This is Louisiana, the one and only.
They don't come from New York, right?
No, sir. They won't eat this. But you got to get all that. That's considered fat right there. All that drip.
Look at that. Oh my goodness, that is so good.
I'm gonna get all of that.
Wow.
And I'm gonna need this pack too.
You can do 2 packets. Wow. Can I serve a little bit?
Yes, sir. Please start.
Wow. I love this.
And I wanted to show you the pack because this is how you fold it to get all that fat out, and then you squeeze it out of the bottom like
every last little drop out of it, don't you?
That's how you do that.
That's the secret.
So
take over that.
now this is.
Look at that. Oh man, are you kidding? Now we can really smell it.
This is 5 pounds of crawfish tails.
Baby,
This is. I like lots of meat in my dish, and most people would not do that because
wow, that is
crawfish tails are not cheap.
That is amazing.
But I wanted y'all to experience the real thing, so I'm using plenty of tails.
I love it. And what'd you call them? They're mud dogs?
Mud bugs, some people call them.
Bugs.
I do not call them that. That's what a lot of Northerners will call them.
Those Yankees, huh?
Yes, that's it. But I call them crawfish and nothing but crawfish. Okay, now is the point where we come and add the flour.
Oh, okay. All right.
See, everything starts happening really quick. Now, there's no measuring.
Now, would you call this a roux or no?
This basically, yeah.
Yeah, you would call it a roux, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But what you want to do with this, you stir it in until it becomes real pasty.
So this is like an all-purpose flour.
Yes, sir. This is all done by eye. There is no measuring.
Yeah. Well, that's the sign of a real chef, okay? A real cook. Wow.
See how it's getting thick and pasty?
I gotta tell you, this absolutely smells delicious. It's amazing. So this is your recipe, but really this recipe goes back a couple hundred years. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is my version of it. I consider it very quick and easy and simple. Simplicity is always best.
Yeah.
See, it's not thick enough for my eyeballs here, so I'm going to add the rest of this flour.
Our viewing audience likes is something that's fast, easy, and tastes delicious.
This meal can be done in 50 minutes.
50 minutes and you're done. That's pretty incredible for an authentic dish like that.
Now at this stage, if we wanted, we could put this in some pie crust and make crawfish pies.
Crawfish pies.
Some phyllo dough. Now I do my étouffée.
So much from you tonight.
I'll take some phyllo dough and bake it and make my étouffée.
Yeah.
And then that phyllo dough, when it comes out, I'll poke a hole in it and serve my étouffée right over the top of it, and I call that a crawfish pie.
A crawfish pie, I love it. I love it.
Now you do this.
I think you could put this on anything. And it would make
This is excellent topper for a piece of fried whole fish.
Ooh, yeah.
Some speckled trout or even a catfish.
Yeah. So this is like a universal dish.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I love the fact that you can also customize as you go along. I think
absolutely. You season to taste.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Now We've been sauteing this with the flour for about 3 minutes.
Yep.
The chicken stock comes into play.
Chicken stock. Okay.
Yep.
And there's Rusty bringing the chicken stock. We heard from Rusty earlier.
I preheat this, Rob, so that it doesn't change the temperature.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll stay hot. This is 12 cups.
12 cups.
But I'm just going to add what I think I need. I'm going to stir it in and look at the consistency, and we'll take it from there. You make it as thick or as thin as you want. It's still going to taste the same.
And it's always chicken broth.
Yes, sir.
Not beef broth. Always.
Yes, sir.
Moran Edwards Asset Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors has 25 professionals dedicated to attentive, personalized service. Our team's credentials cover a wide range of advisory disciplines, and we've been helping families and institutions invest to achieve their financial goals for over 30 years. Call 239-254-2200 or visit moranedwards.com for a complimentary consultation. Moran Edwards, passionate, personable, performance-driven.
I'm here in the famous Kitchen by Ambiance showroom in Bonita Springs, Florida, and I want you to meet my friend. This is Jim Gerard, who's the owner of this amazing design center. I got to tell you something, it's incredible.
Good to see you, Rob. Thanks very much for stopping in.
It's always good to be here, my friend. You know, it always amazes me. Every time I come in here, it's always packed with people who are so anxious to see the latest in kitchen cabinetry design work.
We've been busy, and they've come to the right place. We've got a lot to show them. We've got 6 full-size kitchen displays here to show them. We've got price ranges from beginning level all the way up to full custom cabinetry. A lot of different options.
And that's what I like about what you do, because you really do fulfill folks' dreams, don't you? You bring it to life.
We do, and it all starts with an in-home consultation, and we talk through with them what they like and don't like about their kitchen. And then from there on, it's problem solving. And we lay everything out on the computer, and then we sit down and we go over with them in a lot of detail their design options, and of course with their input, we guide them through the process.
And that's one of your major, I guess, reputations, is you listen very closely and very carefully, and you patiently create that dream kitchen.
We do, and a lot of that is attributed to a staff. We've got a staff with people that have been in the business a long time. They're long in the tooth. And they're good at what they do, and they've done it before.
They've done it before.
We don't send a rookie out to do a job, and that also goes for our installers. We've got guys that have been with this company for 28 years, and so that kind of experience really shows.
Well, as they say, your reputation speaks for itself. So folks, if you want to have the kitchen of your dreams, and I mean a kitchen of your dreams, I want you to see my friend Jim Gerard. He's the proud owner of this amazing Kitchen by Ambiance Design Center. And I got to tell you something, you can't go wrong.
Thanks again, Rob.
You're welcome. Anytime. At the Roma's Gourmet Market and Restaurant, they do things differently. They do it the authentic way. For example, why is their incredible bread and pastries the best you've ever tasted? Well, it's because they're made artfully and lovingly every day, using only the freshest ingredients possible. The same care and thoughtfulness goes into their freshly brewed, custom blended coffee. The Roma's Gourmet Market and Restaurant at the Promenade in Bonita Springs is the closest place to Little Italy in Southwest Florida. On September 10, 2017, Hurricane Irma unleashed her fury and powerful winds on Southwest Florida, leaving many homeowners in a state of dismay. I was one of them. Days turned into weeks, and that turned into months. Among the maze of promising roof contractors and so-called experts, one company stood out, ACC Mastercraft. And I want you to do me a favor. Folks, contact them. They're on Trade Center Way. They are unbelievable. They do 2 things that I was blown away by. 1, they believe in service, and 2, they believe in helping you. Can you imagine that? It's true. Contact them. It's the best thing you can possibly do for yourself. And when you do, I want you to call me and let me know how you make out, because they're unbelievable. Seriously. All right, we're back for the break, folks, and we're going to start serving this up. Was that heavy, by the way?
Slightly.
So you got your rice from Louisiana, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I still can't believe rice is produced in Louisiana, but #1 rice producer in the world.
That's
Is
what
that
they
right?
say, the rice capital of the world.
Wow. Now look at that. Well, I tell you what, you do your thing, and you can put a little garnish on it, and I'll pass it out to these folks. So we want your honest opinion as we go down the road here, okay? And honest opinion. You gotta be truthful about this. And you got 3 choices. It's fantastic, it's out of this world, and it's the best thing I ever had in my life. Those are your 3 choices.
Okay.
Wow. Perfect. Is this the first time you've had etouffee? Is it? Really? I think I just mispronounced it.
Etouffee.
Etouffee. Now what's this over here? I know.
Corn machu.
Corn machu. Machu.
Machu.
Machu. Which means?
You got me.
But it's good. Now Becky made that, right?
Yeah, that's correct. My wife does that.
Your lovely wife Becky made that.
Oh.
So what are the choices again?
Very little.
Wow. I give them to Lisa.
Just say
She already got 2. Give her the 3rd one. You know, go off here, Lisa.
the best thing I've ever had. Okay.
You got to try
You're
it.
gonna use that thing later, or you gonna put it on top of that?
Where's Becky? Is this a dessert?
It's a side dish.
A side dish.
Yes,
Okay.
just a side dish.
Shall we?
We can. Whoever wants some, if they want to try a little bit.
All right. Well, I got to tell you something. Okay. What do you think of this?
It's awesome. I love it.
It was one of the 3 you choose from. What do you think about it?
Oh, it's the best thing I've ever had in my life.
I love that answer.
Yum.
And,
It is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
wow. And Zaza?
It's absolutely outstanding.
Wow. And now this young lady over here.
There's the true
is known
test.
as the cook of the neighborhood. Well, one of them. We have a bunch of the
The
cooks. But
spices are, what can I say? They are over the top. That's
Over
what
the
I
top?
say, over the top.
wow.
Everything tastes fantastic.
Man. Well, I got to tell you, man, 3.
I'm a happy camper.
5 beautiful women and 5 amazing responses, right? That's got to make you feel pretty good.
It does. It does.
You know what we're missing?
Our bowl.
Our bowls. Come on. I got to try this stuff.
Let me fix you up.
Yeah, I got to try this.
It's really so good.
So while we're enjoying this wonderful meal and special guest with Jeff here, who is the Louisiana Cajun cook extraordinaire, I want to remind folks you can go to our website, which is www.greatneighborhoodcooks.com, to learn more about Jeff, to download the recipes, and to also look at a lot of the behind-the-scenes shots that we have. And you're going to get a lot of people downloading this recipe. I can see that's going to happen.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah?
That's the whole point.
Wow. Unbelievable. Folks, I got to tell you something. This is incredible. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Well, thank you, my friend. I enjoyed it.
I
so much.
enjoyed the heck out of
Okay.
it. Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and folks, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and what's the name of that thing? Facebook.
Nah, no, I don't like it. No.